the man with no fear. Finally, we're looking at the Spider-Man Retro Series Armored Daredevil action figure, so stay tuned.
Say no more. Daredevil's the name. Distraction's my game. And if I don't make it, it's been a real slice of heaven, gang. Hang loose, heroes.
Oh man, I fucking love Daredevil just as much as Spider-Man. He is one of my favorite Marvel characters. And this figure comes with the billy clubs and a nice Matt Murdock head sculpt, even though it's not the one from, I guess, the animated show. And there's Daredevil in, like I said, the armored suit from the 90s. Kind of like spin on. I thought we were going to get the original red retro figure with this line. But when I found out it was the armored suit, I was kind of disappointed, but this figure did not let me down. It is still a great figure. I'll show you the packaging. It's fucking the same with all of them, guys. But there's a little read up on Daredevil right there. Matt Murdock, the man with no fear. Such an underrated Marvel hero, I swear. I really want to see him in the MCU. A little bit off topic there. But yeah, this armored Daredevil figure. We're going to go ahead and crack into it. There's just a 360 of the packaging. And let's open this guy right up.
Here comes the music. Parker.
Okay, posing this guy around for a little bit and looking at him out of the box for a bit. This is an awesome figure. Overall, it's pretty close to being one of my favorites, like with the Spider-Man. I think it will technically go in the Hall of Fame with Spider-Man in the 6-inch scale like the rest of them. And he actually features the most accessories out of all the figures, even though it just says Billy Club on the box. He has the Matt Murdock alternate head sculpt with the glasses, the red glasses. And I'm glad they went with this, even though it's not the one from the, I guess, show that these figures are based off. I don't know, are these figures based off the retro animated show or just retro Spider-Man in general, like the retro Spider-Man comics? But he also comes with these bracelet batons that you can attach. Really cool accessory. If you don't want to pose them with the regular billy clubs, you could have them with these kind of like batons that come off the side of his arms. And they just got a kind of really clear paint application, like a white. And then he's also got some bracelets if you don't have him with anything else, and some fisted hands. And he also comes with open hands. That's what I have on the figure right now, but a nice shiny metallic red on this figure. And the billy clubs, which are the best part, because you can have him posed with the, I guess, billy clubs or Eskrima sticks individually, or just connect them and form a longer like baton or cane or nunchucks, whatever you want to call them. There's a lot of different name variations for this weapon, but you can interchange them on the figure, and that's a little really nice touch. I wish he came with like a leg holster, but maybe that's too much to ask. I don't know. For a $20 figure, not too sure on that one. But we're gonna go ahead and just swap out the hands and put on the bracelets, just to, I guess, if you want to have the comic completed look. Not comic, but if you want to have the completed look of the costume, the armored suit with the gauntlets, and then there are those wrist batons that come out, and you put them, and then you put the hands on the fists, I guess. And again, that's a cool look you can have if you didn't want to do the traditional billy clubs. I might even pose them like that for a little bit. I don't know. But there's the Matt Murdock head sculpt, and like I said, it's not accurate to the show, but it's more of an accurate head sculpt to the Matt Murdock in the comics, which I like more. And I guess that's what he looks like in the Spider-Man animated show. But it's a good trade-out that they did this. It's more recognizable like this. Nobody would have recognized him with blonde hair. I kind of wish the glasses were black maybe, but I don't know. It's still very nice. He's mean mugging. But yeah, the head sculpt is a lot better than the Spider-Man and Green Goblin in terms of not putting a lot of stress on the ball joint, and maybe having a less of a visible disconnect. But it still has a little bit of like an awkward kind of cutoff you can see at an angle, but only from this side of his face. From the front it looks fine, doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it, and it doesn't feel like it's gonna break as much. So I guess that's one thing that this figure does better than the other ones. I'm not worried about breaking the head sculpt. But of course I'm gonna have him with the classic Daredevil head sculpt. I'm not gonna have him with the Matt Murdock head, and I'm gonna have him with the baton maybe extended. I don't know. I might have him with the Eskrima sticks. But like I said, it's nice that you have so many options with this guy. That's why I put him so high up with the Spider-Man, and I want to put him in the Hall of Fame because it's just a great figure overall. Alright, yeah, I'm not really feeling the baton look, but we're going to go ahead and just look at the figure and check out its articulation. It is great posability. Not on the Spider-Man level, like I said. None of the figures are on that level, but they're all still really nice. And this one, his arms come out, and they're a little bit restricted by the armor pads, but nothing too bad. Double bend at the elbow, swivel at the wrist. And yeah, same thing for the other arm. Just a little bit of restriction coming outwards, but nothing too bad. Just that shoulder pads in the way a little bit. Swivel at the wrist, like I said. And then he does have the ab crunch. Gives him a good range of motion, but it kind of alters his costume look. See there, if you extend it up a little bit too much, it kind of changes the way the costume looks. It kind of fucks with the pattern and design of his suit. And same thing with the waist swivel. But it's there if you want to do it. And you can get a nice picture if you kind of manipulate the articulation on this guy a little bit. It's not too much of a deal breaker. I just don't like when figures do that. Like, they set up the costume and sculpt for the articulation to ruin it. Come on, man, that's not the way. But then you got the thigh swivel, you got the double bend at the knee, and you got the pivot at the ankle. And Daredevils are kind of weak too, so be careful, like with Spider-Man's. And yeah, just looking at the sculpt overall, this costume is awesome. This armored suit, I had never really seen it before, except in that, I think, was it the Spider-Man special that they had, like on VHS, Spider-Man and Daredevil. But it's just kind of like a cool alternate look for Daredevil. And I think we might get a version of him in his classic suit later on in Wave 2 of this retro series, who knows. But I do love the black outlines and the silver kind of like armor paneling around it. It almost gives it like a Evel Knievel type of look, I don't know. Just something very futuristic for what it was. Coming out in the 90s, it's a very futuristic suit. And I like it a lot. For Daredevil, fits his persona very well. And I'm actually kind of glad that we got this instead of a classic version. Now that I'm looking at it, it grows on you. It really does grow on you. And there he is with his batons. Just very nice look. And a great teammate to pair up with Spider-Man, because we got nothing but villains so far, and then Spider-Man related characters. Like main Spider-Man related characters. And there's a 360 of Daredevil, just kind of in a more plain pose. But yeah, this figure has a lot of highlights, not really a lot of problems with it. And there he is with the rest of the ones we got so far, Spider-Man and Green Goblin. And these are, no lie, these are the 3 best figures in the series, so it's kind of downhill from here, but we're still going to review the rest of them. And the exclusives are still pretty nice, so it's not that bad.
Wait a minute. If you can see through disguises, does that mean you've seen through mine?
No. I've respected your right to privacy. I'm a big believer in the Constitution and the law.
You're leaving?
But thank y'all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for new videos every week. And stay tuned for more collectible videos every week, guys. Yeah, see y'all later.